Dr. Theo Acheampong, what about lands? What about starting a business? I mean, I know we've spoken about investment in the Greek sector and investment in bonds and treasury bills. But what about starting a business? Does it make sense to start a business now, to say, I want to invest my money by having a startup which will yield me results, or even buy land?
I started off by saying it's all based on the risk appetite, right? And the data also shows that, in fact, most companies are actually created in the midst of a crisis. If you look at during the last recession globally, the companies that were created, because people are idle, and if you're idle, that's sometimes where your creative juices start, working. But then there are those that also just want to work and earn a paycheck and be able to put a little aside. So there are different categories of people here in that respect. Even with land, there's all the other complications with, ownership, and how do you ensure that actually the land that you're buying is already not being sold to 5 or 6 other people in the process. So for me, I think in these times, we've got to be very careful. And I would rather, if I had that 10,000, probably put it in a financial institution. But the point also is that it's going to take a very long time. I think at the minimum 5 years, but definitely about 10 years to really recover the from this crisis. And again, let us be very clear that this particular crisis represents one of the biggest net transfers of wealth from the private sector to the government. In other words, we are pretty much subsidizing government consumption rather than what should have been the other way around. So, we are all collectively paying for the inefficiencies and some of the policy mistakes that have been made by the government in this respect. And that is something that I think is very important to stress on here, that for many of us who are caught up in this challenge, and those fund managers and investors, etc., basically what is happening is you are using your money, those investments, to subsidize future government consumption.